Writers collect entries by writing about special places.
Hi, writers. It's me again. Do you remember how last time we met, we talked about how writers can write about special people in their lives to get ideas for writing entries? Today, I'm going to teach you that it's not just special people. Writers can also write about special places to get ideas for their writing entries. So, remember, every time we start a new entry, we start by writing the date on the next part or page in our notebook. So I'm going to start by writing the date. And I told you that one of the things we can think about as writers are the special places in our lives. So right now, I'm going to think about 3 special places in my life. Oh, here's one. The boardwalk. I loved going on the boardwalk down the shore when I was growing up. And another place, the ice rink. You might not know this, but I was a competitive ice skater. And the third place, my backyard. So now it's your turn. I want you to stop for a moment and think about 3 special places in your life.
Stop. List your 3 special places and then press play.
Okay, writers, you have your 3 special places. Now, I want you to close your eyes and imagine that special place. What do you see? What are the details? So one of the special places on my list was the boardwalk. So as a writer, I want to make sure that I can see that special place. So when I think of the boardwalk, I think of a big roller coaster. Now, you might notice that I am not a great artist, but it doesn't matter because I'm just trying to make that picture come alive from here in my brain to the paper. So there's the track. I'm only using one color, so for you it will just be your pencil. Here's the car I'm in. There I am. Oh, I'm not even going to be in the car yet because when I think of that boardwalk, you know what I remember? I remember watching. This is me. I remember looking up at that roller coaster and going, wow. What else do I remember when I think of that special time on the boardwalk? Ooh, I remember some of the smells. And one of my favorite smells of all is the cotton candy. So I'm going to remember the cotton candy stand. Cotton candy. And that machine that they keep the cotton candy in. Now again, I'm not getting stuck on making a perfect picture. I'm using my sketching to help me remember all the details. I just remembered another one about one of my special times on the boardwalk. I remember that my uncle was often with us. So he's a little bit bigger than me. So I'm going to do that. Is there anything else I remember? Thinking, oh, you know what? I didn't actually draw the boardwalk. You know that feeling of the wood underneath your feet? It feels different than school pavement feels. Okay, so let's see my details. I have the boardwalk, I have me and my uncle, I have the big roller coaster that I always used to look at, and I have the smell of the cotton candy. Right now, I'd like you to think of a special moment you have at one of your special places. Can you think of it? Okay, when you do, can you sketch a quick picture in your notebook? No colors, just your pencil, and try to include as many details about what you saw at that special place during that moment, what you heard, and even maybe what you smelled. So go ahead, sketch that.
Stop. Sketch your moment. Include lots of details.
Writers, while you were sketching, I added some more details to my picture because I suddenly remembered that I always went to the boardwalk at night. So it was dark and I could see the stars and the moon. Now that we have all of those details, it's time for us to start writing. But just like we did last time, we're going to practice writing our story in the air by saying it out loud. So my story might go a little bit like this. I could feel the boardwalk rough against the bottom of my feet as I took step after step. I smelled the cotton candy in the air around me. I couldn't wait and hoped that maybe at the end of the night, someone would buy me some cotton candy. But that's not why we were at the boardwalk that night. We were there to try the big roller coaster. I walked down the boardwalk and I looked up. And there it was, Lightning Loops, my first upside down roller coaster ever. I was going to do it. I was going to try to go on the Big Kid ride for the first time. So writers, did you see how I tried to include the details about what I felt underneath my feet, what I smelled, and what I saw? That's what you're going to do. So right now, let's practice and let's do our dress rehearsal. Tell your story in the air.
Stop. Tell your story in the air to get ready to write it.
Okay, writers, did you practice telling your story in the air? Now it's time to write our story. So I just did that in my really big writer's notebook right now. I'd like to read you what I wrote. I felt the hard wood of the boardwalk underneath my feet. With each step I took, I could feel my excitement growing. I smelled the sweet scent of cotton candy around me and hoped I would taste some that night. As I looked up, I saw lights. I saw the light coming from the moon and the light coming from the roller coaster sign. Lightning Loops, it said. Today would be my day. Today would be the day I rode the big wooden monster. Now that might have sounded a little different than what I did when I did my dress rehearsal in the air, and that's okay. You don't have to remember every word that you said in the air when you wrote. When you write, you might use different words, but you're still going to try to remember to describe your special place and your special moment at that place with details about what you saw, what you heard, and even what you smelled. So that's the work you're going to do today, writers. You're going to now write your story in your notebook about that special moment at that special place. And remember, this isn't just something we do today. This is a strategy that writers use all the time. They can think of special places just like they think of special people to get them ideas for what to write about. Go write, and I can't wait to see what you do today.
Okay, writers, now it's time to get that story on paper. Don't forget, include lots of details about what you saw, smelled, and heard.